Are we on? Are we on? Welcome to Basketballheads Live. I am your host, Glenn Poole Harding. And oh boy, we have a very special guest. This basketball head is a William E Grady high school great who gave defenders nightmares trying to guard him. Listen, this guy didn't take any breaks at all. So just imagine a Westbrook combined with an Iverson, combined with the Kobe Bryant mentality, and you got our next guest. He left Grady as an All-American. We're not just talking All-City, because he was that too, but he was All-American. And let me tell you, we was up at 5-star, and we had just lost to this top guard. He was actually the top point guard in the country by the name of King Rice. And our next guest destroyed him. Made us look good in the city and got our revenge because we all both came from the same conference. So salute to my next guest, which you will find out soon. This basketball head was also my teammate on the Empire State gold medal team in 1986. He was such a pleasure to play with and against him because we played in that Grady-Lincoln rivalry. That was the best rivalry in New York City history, hands down, and I stand on that, 10 toes down. After high school, he attended Hutchinson Community College in Kansas, where he helped lead them to a national championship. After being recruited by some of the top colleges in the country, this basketball head came back home to attend Iona University. At Iona, he averaged 13 points and 11 points for his next 2 years. But with success came tragedy after this basketball head lost his son in 2020 before he could make his professional debut as a ball player. Rest in peace, King Antoine. One thing a parent doesn't want to do is bury their child. So on Saturday, July 15th, from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Lincoln Park in New Rochelle, this basketball head will be honoring his son with the annual King Antoine Memorial Basketball event. Pull up if you can make it. And I'm going to be there too, so definitely. And if it rains on Saturday, then it's going down on Sunday. So, without further ado, help me welcome to the show, William E. High School and Iona University great, my guy, my brother, Antoine Lewis.
Y'all ready?
Y'all ready?
Yes. You have just stepped out into the world of chaos, where everybody goes hard. Come on. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Or go home. Never back down. You gotta hold your own. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. East Coast. Go hard. West Coast. Go hard. Midwest. Go hard. Dirty. Hurry up, everybody. Get online, buy your tickets, cause the game about to start.
Saying my wife is sick.
Hey, what's happening? What's happening?
What up, baby? You
How you
see,
doing?
Grady High School.
How do you still have that, fam?
Hey, it's archived. I got something for you too. Look at this. Boom.
Yo, put that up to the screen. Put it up some more. Raise it up some more. All right. Raise it a little bit more, Tuan. Raise it back so I can explain this. So, For all of you people that don't understand what this is the Daily News High School Basketball All-City Team, 1987, right? If you was one of the best players in the city, of course, my guy Antoine was, you had that jacket. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, my ass was up at prep school my senior year, so I wasn't able to get one. But my guys represent for all of us. So salute my guy Antoine Lewis, man. Welcome to the show, brother.
Well, and so they don't think it's a front. My name is on it.
Let them know, Twan. Let them know.
Okay.
No capping here.
Not at all, baby.
As the kids would say. How's everything, man?
Hey, everything is everything, baby.
Good,
man. Thank God every day for my life, my wife, and my family. I'm still in the ground. I'm still above ground.
Yeah, man. And listen, we miss you, man. We miss you, man. We miss you. I know a lot of people is going to get a chance to watch this and see and even if they don't get a chance to reunite with you in person, they can see you online. And if they really, really, really want to be about that, they come up on Saturday and attend, your son's memorial.
Yeah, I hope everybody come out, man. I want the park packed.
Yeah, I had a few events to attend.
We grew up.
Yeah.
When we went to summer leagues,
fact,
we had to pack 4 or 5 pairs of sneakers, 6-10 pairs of socks, because we had 5 tournaments, 10 tournaments in a day, from Riverside Gauchos, whoever. That's the way we roll.
No doubt, man. It's about them games, man. Having 5 games a day. And we used to look at, I had to say to myself like that, is everybody else doing this? Then you seeing guys on trains and you get to the game, you see all the guys there, it's like, yeah, you got to be in it, man, to be one of the best.
Yo, I was on the 2 train leaving Riverside because we had a tournament at Citywide.
Uh-huh.
So they dropped us all off back at Riverside Church. So we get on the train, the guys on the train was like, I was like, yo, what y'all get ready to do? Oh, we going home. I'm going to sleep, get something to eat and go to sleep. I'm like, what? We got 3 more games.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
We going home. So, but other than that, man, it's the nature of the beast. It's not for everybody. Like, I teach my kids that I coach with Riverside and started my AAU program, New Rock Elite. It's like, go hard or go home. How bad do you want it? Tom Kachowski, God bless his soul in heaven, he said to me, he asked me a question. He says, do you want to be good? He said, you want to be okay, good, or great? Facts. I said, I want to be outstanding. So, all of that said is literally my foundation. I grew up in an era in Brooklyn where I had to play 50 points by ones to create that toughness. Right. And it's sad that these kids today don't have that grit. And that's what I instill in the kids that I come across. I walk through the park. I'm not even coaching a kid. I see him his form. I'd be like, yo, tuck your elbow in. Make a left, make a L, and make a gooseneck. I didn't learn how to really shoot until Iona because they brought in a shooting coach for me because I was fading away on my jump shot. You know what I mean? So hindsight 2020, I'm still in a fight with these kids, man, that, that want to play ball, but it's just that few that will listen.
Yeah.
And it's tough. It's just that few that will listen and trust your coaching skills and ability. That's why this Saturday, 8 to 10, anyone coming up from Brooklyn or whatever, free skills and drills from 8 to 10. First game 11 to the last game 5. Let's go have some fun in my son's name.
Now that's real, man. That's real. Definitely gonna pull up. Yeah, I want to jump right into this, man. Just get down to the good of it, because there's a lot of things that you
Bring
think
it to me. Bring it to me.
Once you ask the question, you'll find out the truth. Who introduced you to the game?
What introduced me to the game?
Who introduced you to the game?
I'll be very honest myself. I didn't have a basketball hoop. All the big guys was playing in the back of across the street from where my brothers and I grew up on Park Place in Brooklyn. And I couldn't get on the court, so I cut a milk carton out the bottom. You know how that is. Then my cousin, we always said we were cousins, Mo Kirby, God bless.
That's right. Rest in peace. That's right.
We used to travel to play ball. We went everywhere. Mo Kirby and I was so thorough with our game that we would be making bets. I'd be like, yo, I got 5, I got 6. He's like, all right, I got 10. I said, yo, let's play him for 20. Guys be like, okay, blah, 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 blah. We'll beat him. We got so cocky. That we kept doing it. So we went to St. John's Rec and tried to pull that off and lost. You know who saved our ass from them guys?
Who was that?
Earl Fuller.
Yes, definitely. OG. Yeah.
Okay, because they trained me in Mo. Crossovers, everything. They saved us. They paid that bill. So Mo and I was like, we ain't doing this no more. Slim, all of them. I played with all those guys. That's where Mo and I got our confidence and strength from, playing ball. You know what I mean? Like I was a bully on the court because I got my ass kicked on the court. That's why I'm on Omega right now. Okay? Mega Psi Phi to the day I die, because you put in what you're going to get out of it.
Right.
But other than that, man, I appreciate the ass whippings on the court, like Brevoy. My first MVP that I acquired was at Brevoy Court.
Wow.
I got the MVP and we won the chip. So I walked home with 2 big 6-foot trophies. My brother Squirrel had to help me carry it. One of them.
Nah, it was definitely crazy, man.
But back to your question, what made me go to basketball, because that was my outlet. Watching my moms try to provide for me and my 3 brothers, I was going for that goal. Ernie Lorch, I don't care what nobody say, whatever he did, he's never done nothing to me, but Ernie Lorch took care of my family. Real talk. No questions asked or anything.
Yeah, this is why I never, ever, because I was a Bronco guy, but I've never did or said anything negative about Lorch or Lou, because they helped so many kids, right?
They did.
They helped so many kids. And I think, and I just wanted to make sure my platform wasn't a place where people come get that dirt, because I'm not into spreading dirt.
No,
right?
no.
If y'all want to hear that, y'all go research it, go find it on your own.
They might have competed to try to steal talent from each other,
right?
But they was always about the kids.
Right.
I remember Ernie Lorch found out that I played for Lou in a tournament from the Gaucho. He was like, oh, you ain't going. He replaced me on a trip to Virginia with Mo Kirby.
Wow.
And I wasn't even supposed to bring Mo Kirby up to the tryout. But he got the spot because Ernie Lorch found out that I played a game for Lou.
Well, better Mo than somebody else.
Hey, listen. Hey, definitely. That's my dude.
Like, what was your early memories of watching basketball on television, and who was somebody you was trying to go outside and emulate?
Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan. Every time I was playing in St. John's, Red Kelly Washington used to always say, "Oh, he got his tongue out like Michael Jordan."
And
I
your
didn't even
wristband.
know who Michael Jordan was.
And your wristband that you wore right here.
This is a Kobe one, but it's purple and gold.
No, I'm saying in the game, you used to wear your wristband. It wasn't here.
Oh, yeah. My white wristband. I used to wear it up high.
Yeah. I remember. I definitely remember that. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, his tenacity. And I didn't even know he was an Omega since I became a bro.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But Michael Jordan, I emulated his game, his tenacity, his grit, how he got his teammates' asses when they was failing to do this and that, failing to catch a pass when you right under the basket. He was hard on his players. I was hard on my players. But then again, I was hard on myself more because I felt that I wasn't getting through to them.
Got you. Lambert Shell's in the building. Salute, New York City great Lambert Shell.
Hold on.
Yeah, he in the building, fam.
Oh, he's gonna. Hey, can he testify that I dunked on him at Madison High School? Can he testify to that? I don't want to talk to him. He can't testify to that. Janice Shell, yo.
No, Lambert Shell, not Shannon Shell.
Oh, I thought you said Shannon. Okay,
No, this is Lambert Shell. We're going to get into that. He wanted to know, did you go to 258?
Yes, sir. 8 Ball.
Yes.
Decatur and Halsey Avenue.
Fact.
258. And I played ball there as well.
And his answer right here, Antoine, he said never.
Hey.
Because you got him confused. But I'm gonna bring that up because it was a couple of more names that was under that rim. Because somebody had a front row seat.
Wesley Hubbard.
Oh,
Ask him about Wesley Hubbard. Ask him. How am I not going to be on the team and I ain't know my teammates? Wesley Hubbard.
Nice.
Ask him what the coach's name was.
No doubt. No, Lambert played in Queens at August Martin.
Okay.
Yeah, but he was definitely around during our era, man. So salute to Lambert Shell, another friend of the show. You mentioned Earl Fuller, Kelly Washington, all came on the show, man. So they just tapping in, want to show you some love.
Lambert. I'm familiar with him.
Yeah, salute to my guy, Benay Brutus from Rice High School, and my guy Ayatollah Beats. For sure. So, who was the best player in your neighborhood? Like, who's the best player around your neighborhood that everybody kind of want to be like?
I'll be very honest, man. There wasn't a lot of ball players in my neighborhood. I went out 4th Street Park, playing citywide, joining organizations. There was nobody in there in my neighborhood but the big thugs that played the game of basketball. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I had to take that energy and that grit other places.
Got you.
You know what I mean? There was nobody in Brooklyn that I knew. And to be honest with you, I'm gonna give you a quick story. I remember meeting Pearl Washington, Dwayne Pearl Washington, God bless his soul in heaven. Okay. And he says, I saw you playing at the BRC. And you know the BRC.
Facts, you are legendary. Yeah.
All right. So he says, you got a good game, but your crossover is too high.
Whoa.
So he says, meet me at 335 Park, which is down the block from Boys and Girls High School.
Mm-hmm.
He said, meet me Saturday morning at 6 a.m. And I wasn't ready for that. I was like 6 a.m. What? I was there though. I was a little late, 6:15, something like that. He was there ready. He made me do 10 suicides because I was late. But he worked on my crossover. And that's where I developed my first step. So you see what I'm saying? That's my foundation in lineage.
But man, you learn from the point guard for real. Like when you talk about New York City point guards,
but not just him.
It starts with Pearl Washington. But I'm just saying it starts with Pearl Washington.
Absolutely. But at the same time, I got to give credit Earl Fuller, Beetle. You know what I mean? Mo Kirby and I used to play 100 points per game, full court by ones. It was about grit. Brooklyn is about grit basketball. When I was coaching Riverside, all the rich parents, they were like, oh, where we going? We going up to Hartsdale or whatever? No, I'm taking y'all to the line. You said your kid can play? Let's go. And God bless his soul heavily, Buddy, that ran
Buddy Keaton, Buddy Keaton, yeah.
Okay.
Rest in peace.
I brought my Riverside team down there, and we made it to the chip, but they got their asses cracked, and they needed that. I was hoping we win a chip, but at the same time, I wanted the kids that's here up in Westchester to know basketball. You love basketball. Basketball don't love you. You got to put in that work, period. So, that's my foundation of what got me started in playing basketball. From the crate on the fence to coming across individuals that played the game at a higher level at St. John's Rec, BRC. That's where I got my backbone from.
Man, the lessons of a Brooklyn ball player back then, we didn't have the trainers. It wasn't a lot of gyms open. We had to go to the parks. We had to go play against the older guys, and they gave us those lessons. And, the whole process of being able to get on the court, then being able to stay on the court, then being able to be one of the top ones picked every time that there's a next game. So there was definitely a process you had to go through in Brooklyn just to even compete and get on the court, man. So
just get the respect to get on the court.
Facts.
You can, there's a cat, and I'm gonna tell you this story. I remember when I was at St. John's Rec, and people knew my name as an up-and-comer when I was in junior high school at 258. Check this out. Cats who had necks, okay? And you know how that is.
Right.
You can wait forever to get on the court for necks.
Facts.
All right? So they were like, yo, I want him. Older cats is like, yo, he's in junior high school. They was like, trust me, I want him. And all they told me to do, give up the ball. So I became a better point guard. That's what they told me. They said, if you don't do this, I'll never pick you again. Another story. Myself, Mo Kirby, Kelly Washington, Earl Fuller, Slim, we took the train to Staten Island. And tell me what that gym was.
Cromwell.
Bruh. It was that was amazing. The smell of sweat, and the sound of sneakers squeaking. And bruh, I was like, I couldn't get on none of the courts that way. But I was able to play with these little kids over here. And then I got a game in. But by the time the game was in, Kelly was like, yo, Antoine, we out. I was like, yo, I got like 8 points to go. Antoine, we out. So they was my leadership.
Now, those guys, was great role models for us. Speaking of Kelly Washington, I didn't realize that he was at Boys High and he got cut all 4 years and never made the team. And when we seeing these guys in the park, these guys was like our superheroes. But we don't know their stories. So when they're giving us that knowledge and help preparing us for the next level, they making sure that we're prepared more than they were.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you know what? I developed a relationship. Kelly and I got into a fight at 335. Not a real, just a tug match, you know, because he taught me certain moves and I was using the moves on him. So he was
the student becoming the teacher.
Exactly. So, you know, and it was a big playoff game, you know, because you know who was on our team? Carrie Scurry. I played with Moses Scurry at Eli Whitney. I played with Willie Scurry at Grady. So, you know what I mean? My lineage is crazy. So this particular Summer League game catches on the sideline betting money. So they were like, Antoine came to play today, but he ain't getting paid because I wasn't playing for money.
Got you.
But Kelly was. So I made a move on Kelly because he taught me that one step and that leaner on the left side bank shot. And I hit him twice with that. And he shoved me from the back. And I was in serious enthusiasm mode. But I knew it was out of love, you know, but I give him all the props, Earl Fuller, all of those guys, man, from St. John's Rec that raised me to become the player that I was and my heart that I still am. I thank them for it. That's what it's about, you know, and that's what I'm trying to convey to these young kids. And the parents think, oh, my son, why my son ain't, that's why I stopped coaching AAU. Parents, oh, why my son ain't getting playing time? Why my son is sitting on, you know, whatever. Because your son don't show up to practice. When he does, he's a distraction. He don't know the plays. I'm hard, but I'm fair. I grew up around a lot of crazy coaches, bro. Ray Haskins. Because I was supposed to originally go to Alexander Hamilton.
All right. All right. Hold on for 1 sec now, because this is I heard about that, right?
Okay.
So now you're at 258, right? And Lambershell said he went there as well, and which is crazy because Lambershell is from Brooklyn, but he went to school in Queens. But you, on the other hand, Alexander Hamilton, Boys and Girls, Weston House. What made you go to Eli Whitney?
My mother. Because all of my friends and Mo Kirby, Boys and Girls, and everybody, they were at the school. She says, no, I want you to go get your own identity. And the reason I went to Eli Whitney is because of the fact that she was, determined not to have me go to Boys and Girl High School, which was like maybe 10, 13 blocks away, walking distance, if that. Westinghouse, which had a poor graduation rate at that time. So I went to Eli Whitney. That's where I started playing ball and teammates, and I sent you the picture with Moses Scurry.
Your mom's had the presence of mind to know that certain schools wasn't good for you. Similar to my mom. So people always ask why I went to Lincoln, you know, because of those same reasons. So I definitely understand, man. What was it like? What was it like playing with Moses? And how was your transition once you got to high school, leaving 258?
Hey, listen, my transition from 258 to Eli Whitney was great. You know what I mean? Moses Scurry, you know, he took me under his wing. I'll be very honest, introduced me to Carrie, Dell, you know, his shortest brother was called Tiny, but he was 6'6".
Right. Right. And
Who's
can't forget
now,
Paul. Can't forget Paul. Paul's in there as well.
Oh, exactly.
All them brothers crazy,
Yes.
right?
So, you know, I was welcomed into a basketball family, different families, different basketball families. So Mo Scurry, be honest with you, he got my first fade haircut on NA Rock. He bought me my first pair of Jordans because we was still playing for Riverside Church. He got me because we was playing at Eli Whitney, the Michael Jordans, the first joints with the wings, green and white. I trusted him because hindsight 2020, bruh, I was surrounded by a lot of people who knew who wanted it, knew who would give it up for it. I gained their trust. And I thank God for those who helped me to this day be the man that I am today, even through struggles.
Yeah, man. So you get to Eli Whitney because that's when I first saw you, and then word started circulating that you was moving to Grady, and you know us being rivals, we got kind of nervous because we was like, damn, they already got all these players over there already. Antoine coming over.
Darrell, Pat, Alphonse.
Like, how did that happen, and why did you transfer?
Well, to be honest, Eli Whitney was closing because of poor graduation rate. I had to find another vocational school. And I was linked up with the coach from Grady.
God you talking about Jacka? Is it? No, it was the
no. Jack Ringle.
Jack Ringle.
Yeah.
Wow.
And who brokered the deal was Al Kachowski, Tom Kachowski.
Really?
He brokered that deal.
Wow.
And I got an invite to a workout, a weekend workout. And Jack Ringle, and at that time, you know, his assistant was Jock,
who
lived in Coney Island. So Jock was like, yo, I like this dude. I always kept a good ear around people and what they're saying about me or anybody else. So Coach Ringle was like, okay, you can transfer if you want. I said, I'm here. And that was it. That's why I'm wearing Grady. This is the warm-ups. I don't have the pants, but this is the warm-up.
Yo, first of all, y'all, listen, I can't even see just y'all. Everybody had better warm-ups and uniforms than us. We was just like, we had cotton balls on our sweats, but we were wearing with pride because we didn't know. That's all we had, so we wore them with pride, man. So,
but y'all tore people asses up, though.
Yeah,
it didn't matter because when the warm-ups came off, and we're gonna get to talking about Tiny.
Oh yeah, for sure. We're
gonna talk about Tiny
for sure. Ayatollah B says, "Pooh, tell Antoine I said thank you for sharing his story. So appreciate my guy. Always on the check-in. Very big supporter of the show.
That's my guy Ayatollah B. Appreciate it.
For sure. Now, once you got there, I know you probably had a smooth transition because you knew some of the guys, but how did the rest of the team kind of receive you knowing that you may be taking some guys playing time?
I'll be honest, I wasn't received well.
Okay.
I wasn't received well because, you know, I was a threat. And I'll be very honest, every team I've joined, I was a threat to somebody's position. Because I knew what I had and coaches knew what I can give. And they literally like moved cats aside. And the relationships was bad. Like, you know how you're supposed to have team camaraderie, you know, and go out, have some buffalo wings or whatever. I didn't get that reception, you know, from coming from Kansas to Farmingdale, you know, where literally they were jealous and they said, okay, you in this 6-man room. But they gave me a broken bed. But to this day, my second oldest son's godfather literally took me in because he had a spare bed. You see, the opportunities God has given me. And that's all I live by to this day. But I wasn't received well on any team that I came from because of my prowess and my history, my name, my numbers. But I didn't care about that. But I gained their trust and respect when they saw that I gave it up on the court. I wasn't a selfish player. But if you falling off your game, like they say, if I keep calling your damn phone and you ain't answering,
That's right.
I'm not calling no more. I got to do what I got to do.
Facts. Facts. Name some of the guys that was on that Grady team, man. Like, you know, because listen, you play with a lot of legendary guys on both ends, you know, from you mentioned who you played with, Moses Scurry, who's definitely one of the country's top players, national champion in college. And you're at Grady, you got to play with a lot of guys who were there before you. So who were some of those guys that was on that team, if you remember?
Well, I do remember Pat Alphonse.
P. Alphonse. Yep.
Laurel Hendricks.
Facts. Laurel.
Willie Scurry.
Facts.
And my brother, Dion Lewis, who was coming, you know, he was moving his way up.
That's right.
So those are the four that literally, but everybody else was like, you know, like they just made the team. Like we used to call back in the day taxi squad.
Right.
Yeah, you ain't make the team, but you on the taxi squad. If somebody get hurt.
Got you. Who were some of the teams that, you know, well, let's ask this question. No, I'm gonna ask that question first, and I'll come out with the other ones. Who are some of the teams early on that kind of gave y'all fits? Like, name some of the teams that y'all would play. You know, we're gonna get to our rivalry in a minute, but outside of us, and you know, who are some of the guys that you played against that you knew, damn, you gotta bring your A game?
Wow, so many, man. And I forget the names because it's been so long.
That's why I said the school. So
the school, Westinghouse.
Yes.
Westinghouse.
So Westinghouse, you know, because we're gonna tap into that right now, right? Westinghouse, because I had
Gerald
Shane,
Green.
Gerald Green. I had Shane, I had Joe Green on the show. Rest in peace, I had Hassan Dukomi on the show. And I always said I had Joe Jackson, you know, like the high, for some reason, with the great players that they had, they couldn't get out the playoffs. They couldn't make it to the championship.
Forgive me because I forgot those two, boys and girls, and Alexander Hamilton.
Well, Alexander Hamilton, by the time we played, we weren't able to play against them because it was closed, right? But they was definitely
Jackie Robinson.
Right, they was definitely one of the premier teams in New York City history. But when we talk about, you know, those other schools, man, it was just so hard, and the competition level was just so high. And when my guy Arthur Lee Walker, who I think he was on a JV team when you was on varsity, Arthur Walker, who wound up helping them to that 1990 city championship, he said he was I don't know if it was at Westinghouse, maybe it was at Madison during a playoff game. And Westinghouse was playing a 2-3.
Mm,
You split the two guards who was
right.
at the top,
Make them pinch.
and you took off for the dots. And then you dunked on the biggest front court.
Are you talking about Doctor that played down at BRC?
No, I'm talking about the
Man.
time you dunked on Shannon Shell.
Oh yeah.
Hassan
That was a playoff
Dukombi
game at Madison High School.
and Shane Drisdale.
Yeah.
They had a front court squad of 6'6", 6'6", and 6'9".
Mm-hmm. And that was a breakaway dunk too.
Ooh.
That was a breakaway dunk, and I fell down. I was like, did I just do that? And I hit a half court shot at the end of the half that game. It was crazy. It was crazy. They had me go out the back door. I couldn't leave the front where everybody else was. My coach had to escort me out the back door because Westinghouse fans, they wanted to beat my behind. So my coach was like, yo,
hold on.
Back door.
We're going to call a technical play right now. Yo, you know how ill that is when you dunk on the biggest front line
6'7"
New York
and 6'8".
City.
I be telling my wife, but she don't believe me.
Man, these guys was punching everything.
She never seen me dunk, but it was the latter years of our relationship.
Right.
But she wouldn't realize. That's why I've been I've been looking to see if anybody have a tape of that game. It was the playoffs at Madison High School, us and Westinghouse. Even the coach from Westinghouse was saying, and Shannon Shell, no, not Shannon, Shane, you know, he used to dance due to like the club scene.
Oh, we talked about that. You got to watch the show. Yes,
because Mo Kirby and we used to go to Paradise Garage, Zanzibar. So we used to always run into Shane. And Shane used to always be like, yo, I can't believe your little ass dunked on me and my teammate. I'd be like, yo, it happens.
Word up.
History, babe.
Yo, Andre Prince said he shouted out Shan, Lou Johnson, Art Walker, Guido, Fry, Jamel Bunch, Jason Jackson, Deion Lewis were all young kids on JV.
Yep.
And Ephraim Whitehead.
Ephraim Whitehead.
Yep. Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
It's crazy, ain't it?
That's crazy. And
I've been holding all this in, and I thank God for you, man, for this, because, you know, I tell people things, man, about what I did and that, and people look at me and be like, all right, old man. Yeah, right.
I go through the same thing, Twan. But look, we're the older guys who we used to look at,
look up to, yeah.
Used to look up to, and then we not the ones out there playing, 50 and over to try to recapture what we had, because we did it all to the best of our ability, and we laid that ball down, and we was good. There you go. So all these guys that be wanting to bust me up now, who asked I was busting when I was younger, it's like, you're not getting no chances. So right. You ain't catch me then, you ain't catch me now.
Copy that. Same here.
Facts. Look, we had one of the greatest, if not the greatest, rivalry in New York City history. People got to understand that Grady and Lincoln was right across the street from each other, right around the corner. We both on the court, we was rivals, but off the court, it was all love. Y'all guys to come to our school, try to steal our girls, because Lincoln
no, we didn't.
Girls.
No, we didn't. Well, some of us did, not me.
But it's so good.
I was a high school kid then. Maybe we made, because we had no girls in our school.
Yeah,
we had 2 girls in our school, and they was in auto mechanics. They was fixing cars.
Yo, hold on. I gave him blow the whistle. Yo, he said they had two girls and they both was fixing cars. They were mechanics. Wow.
Fixing cars, bro.
But we knew. Look, when we used to play you guys, the girls that usually didn't come to our games came to our games.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So we knew it was like, this rivalry was something big. And when we played at our school, standing room only. When we had Grady, standing room only. College scouts and coaches in the stands. I'm listening, brother.
Story. When I was at Eli Whitney, you know who tested me? Boo Harvey. Boo Harvey, bro.
Salute to my guy, Boo Harvey. Always on the check-in.
Yes.
What was that like? And what was your temperature like knowing you had to face Boo Harvey?
To be honest with you, bro, it was a nightmare, but at the same time, I couldn't bow down. I heard about this and do that. He did this, he can do that. I said, I don't care what their name is or what they've done or about to do. I'm bringing it because I come from a Brooklyn perspective. And Brooklyn is like either going to do or die, period.
We want the smoke. No matter what your name is, we want the smoke.
That's it. So I didn't care. I had 25 that game. But the one thing that Boo Harvey messed my head up with, man, to this day, I'll take it to my grave. And if I see him, I'll tell him. Boo Harvey came down, and I was in the middle. And you know how the coach make you fake left or fake right on a 2-on-1 coming back? Boo Harvey act like he was passing it behind his back, and I went to the left. That Negro laid it up. The whole damn gym was like, he got you. He got you. But check this out. I got another Lincoln story for you. When I was playing against Lloyd Daniels, I'm warming up. And the fans is like, yo, who's Antoine Lewis? I'm pointing over there. I said, that guy right there, that's Antoine Lewis. They started throwing shit at him.
At Lloyd?
No, not at Lloyd. On my team.
They
said we was warming up, getting ready to play against Lloyd Daniels when he was at Lincoln.
No, he was at Jackson. He was at Jackson.
Not college. This is high school.
I know. Lloyd played for Jackson High School. He didn't play with us at Lincoln.
Didn't he play one year with y'all? And then he went to
no. He played 1 year. He played 1 year with Jackson. Then he went. He dropped out of school after that.
Okay, I'm confused.
Yeah, Lloyd. I don't think Lloyd. My coach wouldn't even accept him into the school. Lloyd. Oh no, Lloyd went to Jefferson first for a year.
Right.
Then he didn't play that next year. Our junior year, he came back and he went to Jackson. So you either play against him at Jefferson or at Jackson. And I'm going to say more or less at Jackson.
Because everybody was chasing him at that time.
Yes. He was the number one player in the city at that time. Jackson was ranked number 2 because of him after Talentine. I remember because I still had
and then he went to San Jack.
Yes, and then he went to, junior. He dropped out. Then went to junior college. Then he was. By the time we was going into our senior year, he was going to be playing with UNLV, which was crazy. But then he got shot. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
At any rate, that particular game, whoever it was, the fans was asking. We was playing someone at Lincoln, and they were like, "Who's Antoine Lewis? Where's Antoine Lewis?" So I pointed over there to one of my teammates that was on the layup line. And they started throwing stuff at him. Because I knew everybody was out for me, man. Everybody was out for me, man.
You was definitely, your name definitely rang bells, and people knew exactly who you were, man. So I could see that happening.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My guy Frederick FB Blue said, Antoine, I used to read about you in the newspaper while you were playing at Iona College. Your game stats were good.
Appreciate that.
No doubt, man.
Thank
That's why
you.
I say, I tell people, man, you never know who's watching. You never know who's watching you. You never know who's admiring you. I tell guys, come on and tell your story. And guys, some guys are scared because they feel like they didn't accomplish what they think they should accomplish, what other people thought they'd accomplish. But there are so many other people that appreciate your game for what you gave us.
Exactly.
So, you know, we got.
Well, I'm
take
gonna
advantage
give
of that.
this. I hope some young men and young females, ball players, listen to what I'm about to say.
Okay, you had a tiny story. I don't want to leave this Grady Lincoln rivalry because let me tell you, it was a time from my freshman year to my junior year. We never lost to Grady.
Right.
Good games, never blowouts. Right. But then, like when the 90s came, things kind of switched because Grady game, you know, all the players who was on JV moved up. And then they took the leading role, right? Okay. And there was a back and forth battle. You know, it's a shame that Grady and Lincoln doesn't have the rivalry that it used to have, you know. And even now, Grady's in the A division, Lincoln's in the AA. But in the last 2 years, Lincoln has won.
Yeah, y'all been doing your thing.
No, the last few years, we've won like 3 or 4 games.
Are you serious?
Yes. We have a new coach, my homegirl, Victoria Montos. You know, being from Coney Island and being at Lincoln, it's important that you have roots or some kind of connection in Coney Island because that's where the majority of the talent come from. And she's still in the transitional stages. But a good thing is that Juju Marbury's son, Christian Marbury, who's in 8th grade, who just came over in Brevoort tournament last week and dropped 30 points. He will be attending Lincoln next year.
How old is he?
He's only in 8th grade. He'll be in 9th grade next year.
So what, he's playing up? He's going to 9th grade?
He's going to 9th grade in September.
Okay.
So she's, you know, I told her the best thing you could do.
Juju?
No, his name is Christian Marbury. Juju is his dad.
So that's
Juju's
Steph
son.
Marbury's.
It's Steph Marbury and Juju. Juju played against that next crop of Grady players.
No, I'm saying the family line.
Right.
Juju is Steph Marbury's
brother. You got Eric. You got Don.
No, but the 8th grader is not his brother.
No, the 8th grader is Stephon Marbury's nephew and Juju's son.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay, I got it. Okay.
This kid is going to be a great player. I told Coach she need to put the ball in his hand, trust him, and he will bring other players in that's going to want to play with him. And he's going to continue the Marbury tradition. So I think in that way, you know, Lincoln has a chance of bouncing back sometime in the future.
How tall is he?
Right now, maybe about 5'8", 5'9".
So he's still growing.
He's still growing. But he got that.
He'll be about 6'5".
He got that Marbury intellect. He got that Marbury IQ, which you know is that lineage is just in your blood, man. So he's going to do well.
Are you working with him? Who's working with him?
No. She asked me to be her assistant coach, but I'm too busy doing what I'm doing. And you know, the reason why I don't coach anymore, because I used to coach my high school as well, is that I'm busy with this. I'm busy with my podcast, and then I'm covering the Catholic school, private school, and public school.
Gotcha.
Girls and boys.
Okay.
So if I can't give my all like we known to do, you got to step away and make sure that somebody there that's going to give their all.
Right.
Facts. So 1986, we win the city championship, and you know now we're playing the Empire State Games, which we played together. I'm gonna send you that picture. I have that picture of me and you chilling.
No.
We're taking pictures like this.
Oh, you serious?
Me and you is like this by a car. Me and you taking
It
a
wasn't
picture.
our car though.
Of course. But we wasn't stunting in front of the car. We was stunting because we was those guys. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Flossing.
And I still have that picture. I just gotta scroll out my page and find it. And
All
once
right.
I find it, I'm gonna forward it to you.
You crazy.
But that was a awesome time and an awesome summer, man, because we didn't lose a game that summer. And then that 5-star camp. And I know the buzz was just like, yo, son, if you play against that dude, King Rice, bust his ass for us because, he beat us in the state championship. And look, he had every right to be ranked the #1 point guard in the country. He did what he was supposed to do. He was at 5-star since he was like 5 years old. He laid down his legacy upstate in Binghamton.
Yep.
What were you thinking before you played, like before the jump ball? What were you thinking? Because everything is on the line, right?
Yep.
He's ranked higher than you. He has a bigger name than you, but we weren't scared of that.
Nope, we weren't.
Give me the breakdown of what happened and then how you became the best guard in the camp that summer.
Well, Rick Pitino, he challenged me because as we were sitting around in the camp on the floor inside, because it was raining, so they brought the outdoor activities inside. So Rick Pitino was like, who eventually was recruiting me when he was at Providence.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, who's the best jump shooter in here? Who got the best jump shot? All the other campers is like, him. So Rick Pitino brought me up and he said, let me see how you do your jump shot. So he was just passing me the ball. I'm hitting bank shots, bang, because that was my pedigree. All of a sudden, he brought a camp instructor who was a ball player. I forgot Wade, but he was like a senior or junior college level. And he put that pressure on me where I couldn't get that shot off. So then Rick Pitino was like, okay, I'm going to show you how to get this pressure off you. So he taught me, which I teach my kids that I coach, toss it out, catch, jump stop, sweep the floor, and attack the high foot. So long story shorter, it was just, Rick Pitino. I'll be very honest, bro.
He put a battery in your back?
No.
Because I'm talking about the game when you actually played against King Rice. And
that's
what we talking about. Where
these two fingers
all
right
of a
here,
sudden, all the colleges in America was after you.
Look, these two fingers right here.
Yes.
They still crooked because in 5-star, Rick Fox and King Rice was on the same team. I went up on King Rice. Rick Fox blocked my shot, and I had to land, so it broke both of these fingers. Ernie Guff, he was like, yo, this is a tough son of a gun, because all I did was take my damn shit up. Let's go.
You talk about Garfinkel.
Yes.
Director.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rest in peace.
He was like, he said, this boy's tough as nails. I remember those words. Broke both of these, and they still crooked to this day. Because guess what? The next night was our last night. It was Holmesdale, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Okay. I had to go because I qualified for the free throw contest. And guess who I lost to by 1 point?
Who's that?
Sean Kemp.
Wow.
Sean Kemp.
Wow. You
see what I'm saying? So
yeah. It's legendary, man.
Yes. That's why I tell cats, man, y'all have no idea what I've been through.
And a lot of times too, when kids hear that they have to play against a certain player, I've seen it happen, especially in my tournament, and in high school basketball. They don't want the smoke.
They don't.
They want to play with that player. They don't want to play against them.
Right. And
like it was so disrespectful for us to want to play with the best player.
Mm-hmm.
If we didn't play AAU and we didn't play the Empire State team, go to hoops, wheelchair, and we want to put together that way, man, I would have played against you.
Yep. Wheelchair. Wow, you just brought something up, bro. Yeah, we had to go visit the hospital.
Facts.
The paraplegic kids. You see what I'm saying? This is giving me chills right now, man.
Wow.
Wheelchair Classic. And the games was at Christ the King High School.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? That's legend. That's why when I was playing certain summer tournaments, cats would be like, yo, on the mic, they'd be like, yo, the legend is here. The legend is here. If y'all want to meet him, talk to him after the game. And that's what it's about, man. Like, I'll say it 100 times. These kids want to be the next LeBron James, the next Kobe's, which is all good. But my thing is this, because I lost out on a major opportunity in my life for 2 points. And I'm not talking 2 points on a scoreboard. I'm talking 2 points SAT. I signed with Kansas University out of high school. Alvin Gentry recruited me because I was playing for Riverside out in Tempe, Arizona, against big names. You know what I'm saying? And Alvin Gentry was in the stands. Was like, yo, he contacted my high school coach. He was like, yo, we want to just, what's his grades like? My grades were good. But I lost 2 points. Like I said, 2 points. Not from a scoreboard. I lost 2 points from the SAT. At the time, you had to get 700. I got 698. I remember it like it was yesterday, bro. Kansas was playing Duke at Madison Square Garden. That's the darkest day in my life, besides losing a loved one. And sitting right behind the bench. And mind you, I had already taken a visit to Kansas. Set me out. Sneakers, gear with Jayhawk sneakers, everything. Gave me everything. 2 points. So I signed right there. I was early signing. I signed right there during that weekend. Hell yeah.
Because we all knew the word got out quick, like Antoine Lewis, he going to Kansas, man. And we were so proud of you. And just to kind of ease your mind a little bit, right? Since I started doing this podcast and was able to do a lot of research, it forced me to do a lot of research and dig into some areas where I probably wouldn't dig if I didn't have the show, and realize how the SAT was put in place to slow down the amount of kids that was getting of black kids that was getting free educations, right?
Yep.
That's why they implemented the Regents exam. That's why they implemented the SATs, right?
Yep.
And think about, we only had to get a score of 700. Kids will laugh at that score now because now they'll allow you to take the test and then use your best scores and take another test and combine those scores to get you eligible. Not only that, starting this year, no kid in America will have to take the SAT to play college ball. Isn't that crazy?
That's good, man.
It's just like they punished us, or not us, because we wasn't smoking back then, but we talk about the guys who was going back then.
Era back then.
Yes, but think about this. The people who was caught selling weed and smoking weed went to jail. Now it's legal.
Right. Because they
We had
make
to-
money off of it.
We had to take an SAT exam back then so we could play. Now you don't have to take it. Because everyone is not going to get a Division I scholarship. Now they have the transfer portals, and it's that is still there to hinder the next generation coming up.
Yep.
What is your thoughts on the NIL and the transfer portal situation that's going on in college basketball?
I'll be very honest, man. The transfer portal, man, I'm for it. I'll be very honest. I'm for it because, see, like, I feel that these college players, the coaches are getting millions of dollars.
Preach.
Just to give an instruction, set up a play. You still with me?
I'm here. Go ahead.
Okay, I saw the big screen. And keep going to the big screen.
I know you good. Don't worry about it.
Well, okay.
I'm just gonna when I do that, I just want to make sure people are focusing on you.
Okay, copy. Appreciate it.
Got it.
You know what I mean? Now it's like you got these kids now and these coaches making millions of dollars, not just basketball, but football. I mean, $20 million for 4 years. But the kids, the student athletes, they're the ones who's filling the damn arenas. They're filling the seats. And when I was playing ball, they thought, and I honestly thought, I was in a line of luxury because you give me a pregame meal and a damn $50 at the end of the game to get me something to eat after a game. I thought I was in heaven. But I realize now that I was being robbed because if you gave me $40 cash at the end of a game, you fed me pregame meal that you might have paid for a buffet setting, that maybe I'll equate it to maybe what, $100? But how many seats, 3 seats that they came to see Antoine Lewis play? How much did y'all make off of my name? So I'm about advocating for these college players to be paid. They're using their images on sports games. They might not have their name, but they got the color and the number on them. They're robbing our black youth. So that transfer portal, I don't care what sport, go get it. The NIL, get it. Get your bread. Invest in yourself. Because any game you love don't love you.
Say that again.
Every coach will make you promises. Just like when my last game, I cried like a baby when I lost to St. Peter's in the MAC tournament. No, it was Manhattan. I'm sorry.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, next day we get back, coaches, I need your uniform. I need your warm-up. They forget about you in a second. And these young men don't get it. Hit your books. So this is what I'm leading to. If these young men and women are listening right now that is in sports and athletics, I don't care what sport it is. Hit your books. Build your foundation, because at the end of the day, the coaches only care about the current time. When your last whistle is blown, it's a wrap. You're on your own. You're on your own. Hit the books. Apply to colleges. And if not, develop some type of career in terms of bettering yourself. Build your own business, becoming your own entrepreneur. It's a different era now. You can't depend on these millionaire coaches to take care of you and your families. It's different than when you and I was coming up.
Yeah.
Lou, oh, you need some sneakers? Oh, your mama bill need to be paid? Ernie Lodge. Oh, your mama need this? Your mama need that? Oh, you need a ride home? It's a different era. So I'm hoping that whoever is listening as a youth athlete, take heed to what I'm saying.
Definitely. My guy Donovan Ellis. Salute to my guy Donovan Ellis. Donovan was actually the manager at Grady. If this is the same Donovan, right? He said, was Ant at Whitney when Scurry got floored by Danny Torado?
I don't remember that.
Okay. He said, R.I.P. Jack Ringo. He said, that's the warm-up. He said he must saw your warm-up. Yeah, that's Donovan. Yeah. Saw him.
Yo, hold on 1 second. Give me one second.
He says, saw Antoine as a hired hitman.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on one second.
Right. I'm here. I got you. He said, I saw Antoine as a hired hitman. Salute. And get well soon, my brother. For sure. Oh, yeah, we're going to get to Ice. I don't think Ice was there when I don't think Ice was there when Antoine was there. But I'm going to see. Maybe he was there the first year. And then, I think Antoine played the last 2 years at Grady. So we definitely going to figure it out. That's definitely a good question. Bear, Rel, facts, super fat. That's crazy. When we talk about, Brooklyn basketball or that era in the 80s, when, I was out there competing, there was so many great basketball players during this time. And, you definitely had to be one that was about improving your game, making sure you have your skill set down, because that's what the best players was doing. These guys weren't half-stepping. They weren't taking the game lightly. So if you didn't take the game serious, you wasn't going to get noticed. A lot of ball players we came up with, they were good in the parks, but they couldn't play in a high school setting or under structure. So when you're able to play structured basketball and still get yours at the same time, that showed people you was kind of ready to compete against the best. So, Twan, what was you there when Ice was at Grady?
Ice?
Eric Ice Leslie.
No.
Okay, so you
from
Grady.
No, he was before me. He graduated the year before I got
He graduated. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, dunker,
sure.
Big dunker.
Yeah, and shooter too. He wound up. I think he wound up going to Villanova. Right.
Yeah.
Now, once you talked about how disappointed you was not getting that SAT score. How was your transition into Hutchinson JUCO, coming from New York City and now have to live out in Kansas?
I'll be honest, I was in pursuit of getting to Kansas. So that was a sister school. Eli, Manning's son, they were all there. Not Eli Manning, I'm sorry, Danny Manning.
Right. They was at the JUCO as well?
No, Danny Manning was actually, when I was recruited, when I was on campus, when they told me that during the workouts, actually Danny Manning was my roommate.
Wow.
He was my roommate. And, so we were working out. That's why I was telling you, where one particular practice, I was getting used to it. And at that time, they had 2 sets of practice jerseys. Okay. Where the first half, because their practices was like almost 4 hours. So hour and a half, 2 hours, they would change out of the first sweaty all stuff, and trainers would go and wash it, and you switch into some dry gear. But yeah, Archie Marshall, Danny Manning, Phil Newton, all of those guys was my roommates in Danny Manning's apartment. His father, Archie Manning, he had an affiliation with Hutch JUCO.
Mm.
So that was how I got to Hutch JUCO.
Got you.
Under Dave Farrar. That was our head coach at that time. And I assisted them with winning the first. And I came off the bench, to be honest with you, because they had a lot of vet players, good point guards. Maurice Britton, God bless his soul in heaven. He ended up going to Georgia Tech, but he died in a car crash. And
wow. Rest in peace.
Yeah. So, you know, I met, you know, a lot of great people throughout my life. Like, for instance, everybody see me at Grady with number 32, but I changed my number when I got to Iona for number 30 because my teammate, Cornell Bell, we had a Christmas break, right? And I flew home, came back, went to Brooklyn, came back, and it was all dark at the arena because we had to report for a workout,
right?
Midnight workout. And it was just dark. I'm like, what's going on here? And Coach Dave Farrar comes down and says, Cornell is gone.
Mm.
It was a snowstorm, and he was from Wichita, Kansas. So a car veered off from the left lane into his head, hit him head on,
wow.
Killed him. So that's why when I got to Iona and even Farmingdale, I started wearing number 30 because he wore number 30. If you Google it, you can go on Hutchinson Community College 1988 National Championship, and it'll show you everything. The year that how we battled through everything and ended up winning the national championship against Kent. I forgot how to pronounce the damn name. Kankakee, Illinois Community College.
So, now, after you guys win this national championship, what would make you want to transfer to Farmingdale?
Well, my parents got sick. Main reason.
Got you.
My mother and grandmother, they was going through some health issues.
Sorry to hear that, bro. And these are some of the answers and questions we all have because, you know, once we all went to college, it kind of separated. We kind of lost touch with each other. And, you know, you see what's going on, you read some articles, but, you know, if you're not speaking to the person, it's kind of hard to kind of pinpoint what's actually going on in their lives at the time, man. So
exactly,
man. Was that championship run everything you thought it would be? And how did you feel winning the championship, getting to on a junior college level?
I'll be honest, man, I always played to the highest level. So every game I brought it. I was ready to play the role the coach needed me to play at that particular game against the particular team. You know, I knew what I could do. I wasn't the type of player that would argue with a coach and say, yo, get me in there. No. I knew what my role was going to be during the warm-ups and the team pregame. Now, that road to that championship, I never experienced something like that, man.
Mm.
You know, I've seen it when Moses Scurry won championship at UNLV. You know, I didn't win no high school championships and got no rings at that level. But when I won and all the ribbons and everything, man, was dripping down, that's why I know what the NBA players that win a chip is going through. When that confetti is falling on you. When you finish, you get changed and everybody is inviting you everywhere. The celebration never ends. But my celebration that March I had to fly back home because my parents were sick.
Wow.
So I got to celebrate one night. I got to experience that.
Yeah, man. How was it once you got to Farmingdale, and then what was your recruiting like now that you're coming from a junior college instead of high school? What was the difference in the two?
Well, it wasn't really no difference because Gary Brokaw, he never gave up on me.
Mm.
He was recruiting me out of high school when he was at Iona College.
Mm.
You know, I got recruited by Seton Hall, Iona, Providence, Kansas State. I was a high recruiter. I was at top level, 5-star athlete. But the other coaches fell off in terms of not staying in touch with me, although they knew the situation with Larry Brown, because Larry Brown was on the edge of leaving Kansas.
That's right. That's right.
Between my freshman and junior going into my sophomore year, if I would have been there. Gary Brokaw from Iona, that man, hey, how you doing? How you holding up? He always checked in on me.
Mm.
Always. I'm 1,600 miles away by flight, and this man is calling me. He didn't have to call me, bro.
Facts.
He could have just went somewhere else. There was a lot of ball players coming up under me in the city, Rice High School, all of that. He could have went anywhere. Milt Wagner's brother, David Wagner, he was finishing up Iona. Sean Green. Come on, you know Sean Green.
Come on, man. Indiana Pacers is one of the
Yes, sir.
greatest athletes and ball players come out of New York City history, for sure.
Yes, sir. Call him Rise. I played with him at Iona. So anyway, Gary Brokaw could have gave it. He didn't have to call me. So anyway, longer story shorter, I go to Farmingdale because I had to apply somewhere because I wanted to keep playing.
Right. And you was closer to home, so that makes sense.
Exactly. Just in Long Island, Farmingdale. But the thing was, I played for them, had a lot of success. One, met my wife. Okay, that's where I met my boo, 1988, together to this day. But the same thing was, I was welcomed there, but I was supposed to sit out that year. But you know how it is, your rhythm, you're playing. You don't want to break that stride. But then I ended up having to break that stride because I had to sit out at Elizabeth Seton, which is the sister school at Iona. So I had to sit out a year. And that's when I met some fraternity brothers.
Mm.
So everything in my life that failed got me some positive.
Because that's a good way to look at it. Because you can sit back and dwell on things that didn't happen and not really accept the blessings that do happen, right?
Yes.
All of those
Yes.
things, your life was meant to take that turn so you can meet your wife, and then you sitting out to meet your bros, right? To bring that family, because, on one hand, you had two family members, your moms, your grandmoms, who were sick, and then now you're getting another group of family members that's coming to help you stay stable, man. So I think that's dope.
Yep.
That's dope, man. That's dope. Once you got to Iona, how was the transition on and off the court? Like, did you feel you was at home after being in so many rocky situations? Once you got to Iona, did you feel like you was at home on and off the court?
Absolutely, yes. Yes, because I was only, get on the Metro North, 5 stops.
Right. That's
hit
right.
the 4 trains to Utica Avenue.
Fact.
I was good. You know what I mean? So it was a smooth transition. And on top of that, I didn't have to stay in a dorm. I actually had to stay in a dorm during that summer of 90 because they was renovating the apartments. But my junior and senior year, I had my own apartment. They laced me up real nice. They set me up real good.
That's
So
dope.
transition was smooth.
Facts. Andre Prince says Sean Green was at August Martin High School first, then Oak Hill, then NC State, and then Iona.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I know Sean Green kind of helped in this situation with you. I thought about this even back then. You know, you being recruited by Kansas, and you know that situation falling through, but then you get a guy like Sean Green who went to NC State, but came back to Iona and became successful, right? So I tell kids, you know, we look at some of the names that's on the front of our jerseys, not realizing, you know, you can make anybody your home as long as you there and they want you, right? And they treat you like you belong.
Right.
You can make any situation to a better situation. So
absolutely.
For sure. Sometimes we chase the big names, man. What were some of the games that stick out to you at Iona? Like, let's talk about like that first game, that first season when you got on the team. What was your feelings after that first game?
Bruh, man, listen, you're giving me chills right now. I'm about to tell you this. Bruh, when I found out from Gary Brokaw that the floor that we had at Iona was a section of Madison Square Garden's floor, and it had that springy, it was wood, but it still had that springy touch. I said, I'm going for it. That's it. And to know Sean Green was on my team because we play AAU ball together with Riverside. It was smooth transition. I enjoyed it.
Wow.
That first game was crazy. And games that I can remember in the MAC at the time, Fordham hit a three-pointer to tie it up and send it into overtime. We ended up winning that game. Manhattan College, St. Peter's, Siena. Crazy rivalries, bro. I got hit when we were up in Siena. Guy, you know, they come around with the big poles, clock me in the head. I was like, okay, now y'all didn't piss me off.
Right.
Y'all didn't piss me off. Like, you know, you can't do that to Michael Jordan. You can't do that to Antoine Lewis. I'm sorry. I like I told you, I developed his tenacity. But that first game, man, Coach Brokaw was like, yo, do what you do and do what I got you here to do. And that was it. He gave me, I had the green light. Every team I played for after 258 or high school, Eli Whitney, since Grady, I was given the green light.
Wow.
And there was an incident where at Grady High School where, and I think we were playing y'all, where I undressed on the bench, took off. I had, you know how they make us wear the cups?
Right.
I don't know if we was playing y'all or somebody, but the coach took me, a jock took me out, our assistant coach. I'm like, what are you taking me out for? I got 15 points. I just dunked on 2 people. What do you want? Took me out. Wouldn't put me back in. I got so frustrated, and this is my biggest lesson that I teach kids today. You never know who's coming to recruit you, because my attitude, I took off my shirt, my uniform. I'm sitting on the bench in my jock strap. Real talk.
I'm going to give you a big pause on that one and say, yo, what the hell were you thinking?
Bruh, I wasn't thinking. I was angry. And then I didn't know who they were. Coaches just one by one walking out the gym. Jack Ringle said, you just lost 7 scholarship opportunities because you lost your head. So you see what I'm saying? This is what I do now. Keep your head. You know, our fraternity tell us, keep your head when all around you are losing theirs.
Yeah.
You have to. So, you know, it was a life lesson. Thank God that, you know, I still got, you know, help to play ball and no one gave up on me, coaches, especially Gary Brokaw.
No, that's
I
real.
owe my life to Gary Brokaw. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, he recruited me as well. Hold on. See if I can find this. Pull up. What music? Who was you listening to back then to get you hyped before a game?
Oh man, you serious?
I'm dead serious.
BDP, Willkiam.
Wow.
But
Did
you know what though? I'll be very honest with you. Country music, when I was studying.
Yo, tell me you listen to Johnny Cash. And if you
Johnny Cash, the Judds.
Yo, Johnny Cash, listen to Johnny Cash Folsom album. Folsom Prison album when he did it live in Folsom Prison. Yo, this dude
didn't his stagehand just die? Johnny Cash? No, that's not Johnny Cash. That's it was in the news today.
Well, I didn't check out the news today. But if you listen I tell everybody check out Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash is like a hardcore rapper, but who does country music.
Bruh, listen, I love country music. The Judds. Yo, everybody tell me, man, when I came home from Kansas, man, just visiting, I be playing that country music. They be like, Negro, you are country. What the, you know? I love classical, you know, all of that. You know, Mozart, you know, Beethoven. I love piano. Mozart. You know,
yo,
that got me through a lot of study sessions too.
Man, trust me, I know. We had the little Walkmans, right? Remember the little Walkman with the headset? Sometimes you only had the rewind button. There was no fast forward button, or there was just a fast forward button and no rewind button. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, Ant, check this out. This is from Coach Firenzo. Firenzo.
What year is that?
This is, I'm gonna tell you right now if I could find the date on here. Oh, this is 86.
Wow.
This was 86. Yeah. And I tell people, right? You get these letters, right?
Uh-huh.
And then you get these letters.
Okay.
Which now this is like a text message from a coach, but back then when the coaches write you with a pen, you definitely know that they are very interested.
They care, to take the time to write.
Right. Different.
Because you can get
time.
cramps in your hand writing, bro. So, yo, if they putting that time in to write and get cramps and put the pen down and massage their hands again and then pick it back up, that's love.
Facts. So, you know, you was a major contributor at Iona, averaging 13 and 11 points.
Uh-huh.
Did you feel like you had enough to play on the next level? Or were you cool after your playing days was over to say, you know what, I gave it my all?
No, I wasn't satisfied with that. Actually, I was going down to the Dykeman workouts at Columbia University with Mark Jackson, Tony Campbell, and a lot of pro players. And Ernie Lorch, at that time, he knew this scout, African brother. And he was like, I trust him, and I'll make sure you're in good hands. So I was going down there, working out. So right before going to Miami Heat Summer League, I was cut. But they said, okay. Ernie Lodge was like, okay, but this scout wants you. He got an opportunity for you over in Oslo, Norway. So I was going to go over to Oslo, Norway. So nothing was being said. Ernie Lodge didn't hear nothing back or whatever. He just kept telling me, I'll figure it out. I'll keep in touch, this and that. And Ernie Lodge was he was due diligent with me. He treated me fairly.
Mm-hmm.
And I must say that anybody in his family listening, he treated me well.
Dope.
So now, this particular individual, during that summer, I was playing ball for money. Oh, we win this game, you got $200. Just come play. If you lose, you get $100. I was making money playing summer league ball here and there. I mean, all over the boroughs, just traveling. And that's why I was reverting back to what we said earlier. I was carrying in my bag, big duffel bag, 3 pairs of sneakers, 12 pairs of socks, different pairs of shorts, depending on the team I was playing for to match up my uniform. I always was a fly-ass player. I'm not going to lie. I was always cute on the court.
Right.
Be like, yo, Antoine is a fly-ass nigga. His shoes match, his socks match, jersey match, always big duffel bag. So anyway, this particular scout, I'm home. I get home. My mother was like, yo, what's this letter? It was from a lawyer. And Oslo, Norway paid this so-called scout money for me to fly over there. And they were about to sue me for breach of a contract that I never signed. You see what I'm saying? That's another story that I got to let these young men know. Be careful who you're dealing with in Scout, because you don't know what their interests are. They have a hidden agenda. So anyway, Ernie Lodge squashed the beef. It wasn't no real beef, but he squashed it, and I didn't get held for no finances or anything like that. But after that, I said, you know what? Let me start going to work, because now reality has set in. So I became a case manager for homeless individuals and foster kids. And that's what I do to this day. Not with foster kids, but I'm working with adults in supportive housing.
Oh, no, man, that's dope, man. Listen, what I want to, tell kids and relay this message to them, that even though you don't become a professional basketball player, you become a professional in another arena, right?
Yep.
Because the NBA is only going to take a certain amount of players, even overseas. They're only going to take 2 Americans to a team. So, and the opportunities is kind of different now than when we were playing. They were very slim opportunities. There was very few opportunities for us to take advantage of. And the good thing is that we was able to graduate school and put those degrees to work, like our parents would want us to. So
exactly.
Definitely. Yeah. And I told her, say, yo, Ed, congratulations on everything.
Oh, that's what's up. Thank you.
No doubt. Yo, so Ed, man, I want to touch on something that I know that's dear to your heart, your wife's heart, and your family's heart. And that was in 2020, you lost your son. And I just wanted you to tell everybody just a little bit about your son and how this tragedy has shaped you as a man and as a husband.
Oh, boy, this is a subject that, wow. Well, it was an unfortunate loss. The Sunday prior, he was completing a paper to submit because he always worked out with Antoine Mason, Anthony Mason's son. He worked out. He was a respectful son. He did everything asked of him from his mother and I. He never let us down. We had our challenges, but he never let us down. So, it's just one of those things. If any parent is listening to now, please hug your child. You never know. You never know if that's the last time you'll be able to hug them. But that was that was a really hard day. That's why this Saturday, we're having the third annual Antoine King Twan Lewis Memorial Basketball event at Lincoln Park here in New Rochelle. So anyone listening, pull up, come on up. But for the most part, Antoine was the type of kid that gave his all. He loved his family. He loved helping others. And, he was the greatest kid my wife and I could ever wish for. But anyway, it's just one of those things, bro, that I don't wish on my enemy.
Appreciate you for sharing that, man. I told her, said, man, you just gained my respect on that, Ant. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people really said, and he said it's condolences, man. And I want to send mine too, man.
Thank you.
I've heard about that, man. And, and I know one day we was going to get in contact because we always had the greatest of relationships. And I'll see your brother and speak to him. And
be honest, yo, he's the one that linked me. He was like, yo, Pooh want to talk to you, man. Yo, everybody asking about you. So big up to Squirrel.
That's right.
You know what I mean? For putting this together. Because I told him today, I was like, yo, I'm on tonight. Sent him or whatever, the info. So he was like, yo, that's what's up. That's what's up. Tell Pooh, what's up?
Always your biggest fan, man. Always your biggest fan, man.
And
like
my biggest, he always had my back.
Always had your back.
Yep.
And I'm blessed to be able to do this for you, man, and give you the flowers that you deserve, man. Very good brother, awesome ball player, great competitor, and man, you had one of the greatest smiles, man. Like when we look back and talk about that ball player who had the swag on the court, who had the smile, whose body was like chipped up. You was in shape more than a lot of us. A lot of us was, me. I was always slim.
Yeah, I was a little thick. I hit those stairs.
You was doing things that a lot of us wasn't doing back then, man. This is why we hold you to such a high esteem, man. And
appreciate it, man.
Definitely want to, man, say thank you for all
the really
memories
appreciate
that you
this
for sure.
Because you brought back. I'll be honest. You just peeled back a lot of scars, man, little scabs. But you know what? They'll heal again.
That's
but
right.
I really
man.
appreciate your time, man, and having me.
Now we're not finished yet. We got a few more things to go through, and then
go for it.
You know what I'm saying?
I ain't going nowhere.
Salute Andre Prince. Salute Andre Prince, who also said my condolences to you and your family. Now, last question. Well, not the last question, but in this segment. If you could choose one thing to change about your basketball journey, what would it be and why?
Being more prepared for my SAT, because I only was given like 2 weeks. When we at Riverside, they had a little study session, but it was the last exam. It wasn't like if I failed, which I did, I got 2 points short. there was another test coming.
Mm-hmm.
It was that just one shot, you know. But other than that, that's the only thing I regret. But I don't regret much at all.
Dope.
You know, life is life. You know, you gotta travel the road that's given you.
Facts. Facts. Well, now it's time for the hardest part of the show, and I think our most fun part of the show, and that is our
Top 5. Top 5.
All right. We're gonna talk about top five ball players you played against. Top 5. Listen, Ant, I'm gonna lay down the rules. You cannot bring anyone off the bench. There's only 5 players. You can't go, I think this one. It just got to be 5. All right. Top 5 players you played against ever, anywhere.
King Rice, Doug Overton from LaSalle, Tiny.
Hold on. Let's pause this, Franco. We're gonna get to your next 3. What was it? 2 more you got, right?
Yeah.
Because you named Doug Overton, Tiny. Who else was?
Doug Overton.
You said, and who else you mentioned?
Tiny.
All right. So now we at Tiny. So everybody, and I go through this a lot and kind of explain to people, right? Because most of the people that know Tiny know for him winning multiple city championships and state championship as New York City legendary coach at Abraham Lincoln High School. But a lot of them don't realize that he was a ball player before that. You know, and one of the major reasons why we was able to win Lincoln's first championship. What was the rivalry like between you and Tiny, and why would you say he would be one of your top 5 players that you ever, played against?
Because Tiny was annoying. He was like, I thought because I was like a foot and a half taller than him, I can bully him on the court because I was a bully on the court.
Right.
But he had a heart of steel. That little left-hand son of a gun, he did not give up. So yeah, Tiny. Yeah,
for sure. All right, so you got Tiny, Doug Overton. Who else?
I had Tiny, Doug Overton, and King Rice.
King Rice as well. Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
And I got 2 more.
Yeah.
Boo Harvey.
Mm.
And my legend that taught me the game, Kelly Washington.
Facts. Yo, Ant, listen. In his junior high school days, said, Andre Prince said, dude came to Martin in like 85 and was winking at our chicks.
That's bullshit.
Yo, Ed, listen.
Yo,
you wasn't married back then, and bro, you gotta understand, you was different from a lot of us. You had the body of a college dude playing high school basketball. You get what I'm saying?
But I wasn't chasing nobody. I was just
You
going
didn't have
about my
to.
way. They was
You
chasing me.
didn't have to when they was screaming out your name.
They
Right?
were chasing me.
Yeah, come on, fam. We all had our shit, our
Andre,
time in the spotlight.
Sick, man.
Yeah. Yo, they gonna tell it. And listen, a lot of times I tell people, the people who are watching you remember more things about you than you.
You're right. Even names and features, like somebody be coming up. Like I was at my brother's Squirrel's birthday party a few months in January. There was people out there that was like, oh, Antoine, da. I didn't recognize them at all because I was so busy. You know how it is. You traveling, you'll get a name, but if it's not really important, you're not going to hold that name.
It's a blur.
Yeah, but it is what it is.
Your aunt, it was like
Crazy.
All right. Top 5 players you played with.
Top 5 players I played with. Moses Scurry. Maurice Britton, Hutchinson Community College. Sean Vanderbilt, who went to Colorado, Hutchinson Community College. Rowdy Meeks, who ended up becoming a serious surgeon, who also played. And last but not least, Willie Scurry.
No doubt. No doubt. I told the B said, yo, Aunt, I want to see one of your high school or college games. Right? Back then, no one had phones. We didn't have camcorders.
Yeah.
We would have to have the big ass movie camcorder back then, which a lot of us couldn't afford.
Tell them go to the school and see if they got the archive.
Listen, my coach just sent me 6 games when I played in college. I'll send you one of those clips early, later on. But if you go on my YouTube page and scroll down, listen, if you go on my YouTube page when you have some time, bruh, if you just scroll down.
That's all I do on my lunch break. I just YouTube finding cooking shows because I love to cook.
I'm on YouTube. That's I don't know about television. I'm on YouTube so much. But man, you go down, check out the interview with Lloyd Daniels, Ross Strickland, Kenny Anderson. You're gonna see Earl Fuller. You're gonna see them all, man. You're gonna see them all. It's gonna bring back a lot of memories, man. Yeah, I didn't get Beetle yet. Beetle soon, but I did get Jerry Ice Reynolds. Yeah, I got Jerry Ice. Yeah, I got Jerry Ice. Wow. Look, if you scroll down, man, I got Rolando Blackman. I got Ricky Sobers.
Rolando went to Grady, right?
Yeah. Hello? Yes, I know. For sure. Who else? I had Charlie Scott, Hall of Famer. Soon, I'm waiting on, I don't want to let it out the bag yet, but I'm soon to get a top 50 NBA Hall of Famer from New York City. I think there's only 2.
Not Bernard King.
No, but damn, he was there. I don't think they put Bernard on the top 50.
No?
I'm not sure. Let me see.
Yeah, he gotta be.
No, I think he got snubbed.
Wow.
Let me see.
Because even Gerald King at Alexander.
No.
Not Hamilton.
Okay.
What was it?
Fort Hamilton. The top 50 players from last 50 years. Oh, Bernard King, they had him at number 50. So definitely.
Had to.
Yes, facts. So it's not Bernard and it's not Kareem. I don't want to let it out the bag, but he's definitely coming on soon. So this is definitely gonna be fun.
Uh-oh.
For sure. So when we talked about the next top 5, right? I created this top 5 because I want to see how much knowledge guys had of fellow New York City ball players, and also to see who were the top 5 players in New York City history in their eyes. So I had over 400 guests. No one has said the same 5. No one. Right? So we talk about the ball players that grew up in New York City, Long Island, upstate areas, right? When I say New York City, I mean all of New York.
Okay.
But the condensed level of talent, the condensed level of talent. They could be from New York City, Long Island, or upstate.
Okay, but they could have played in colleges?
No, they would have to be from New York City.
Okay.
Right? And then, of course, they could play anywhere else. They didn't have to stay in New York City. Just so it give you an example. Because I have a few top 5s. They always change. So
no, don't do that, man. Let's go.
Okay, cool. So I like to give an example so you get it, right?
Okay, all right, go for it.
So mine's, Pearl, Stephon Marbury, I have Rolando Blackman, I have Bernard King, Connie Hawkins, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Mm-hmm.
Who would be your top 5?
My top 5 will be, well, I already got one. You already said it, Pearl. Ed Bug-Eyed Davender.
Ooh.
See, I didn't make you sit back in your seat, didn't I?
Oh, yeah, that's nice. Rest in peace, Bug-Eye. Yes.
Yes. Gerald Green.
Ooh, he's going to love this.
Moses Scurry. And Beetle.
No doubt. Yo, I would like that. Make sure you get Royal Ivy. Definitely. That's going to be dope, man. I appreciate you, Ayatollah. Appreciate that. Thank you. Man, that 5 is ill, man, because, look.
You would have beat your 5.
Huh?
And again, Pearl was on this.
No, you couldn't beat my 5 because I had Kareem and Connie Hawkins. That kills everything.
Not during our era. They weren't playing.
I know, but Kareem and Connie Hawkins.
The players I named was.
Yeah. They was older, but not, those guys was older, but in their prime.
Yeah. They could coach some kids though.
Man.
Take their place.
Listen, brother. Man, this is so amazing, right? I had something to do on Saturday. And when you sent me the flyer, you got to make those decisions, right? Those executive decisions. Where you going to show up at? I want to show up and make sure that I'm there celebrating with you guys. Cover the game. Going to put it on my page, put it on my YouTube page. And
God bless you, brother.
We're going to celebrate your son and do it right, man. Make sure that, his name and legacy is never forgotten. And I just want to give my condolences to your family, you, your wife, and your whole family, man. Nah, brother, you've been a staple, man. New York City history. What you've done, what you're able to accomplish, and how you giving back, right? Because the people that you're working with need you, and a lot of times, we're looking at not us, but people when they look at the other side, because everybody just want to talk about basketball, but then life kicks in and you have to apply those same work ethics to the real world to help someone else. And what you doing, brother, helping out the adults who are in homeless situations and getting them back on their feet, man. I just want to commend you, man, and keep doing what you're doing and don't ever lose that fight, man.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate that.
For sure, man. For sure. Perfect Talent 30 said, "Love you, Dad." Moo.
Oh, Moo Kim. That's my youngest son.
Got you.
Yeah, that's my youngest son.
Appreciate you, young king.
He attends Penn State, man.
Word. Wow.
He attended Penn State. He was like, oh man, he did his thing his freshman year. Made the dean's list. He's great. He's just chilling this summer.
Good job. That's a positive tech right here.
Man.
We want to celebrate that.
Yeah, man.
That's dope, man. Well, listen, I want to say, man, thank you again, man. Let's definitely stay in contact. I'm gonna definitely pull up on Saturday.
Appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you.
For sure. And man, I just want to say, man, New York City want to thank you for being one of his top players in New York City history and for giving us memories that we'll never forget, and also coming on the show and sharing your story with the world, man. So I want to say thank you, brother. Love you always, man. And I'll definitely see you on Saturday.
All right. And I want to thank you for having me and put me on this platform, because I'm not in social media like that. I'm a private guy. That's why everybody be like, where is he? Like Waldo? You know what I mean? But I really want to thank you for the opportunity you gave me tonight, because it brought back a lot of memories of where I came from. You saying that New York City is thanking me, but I thank New York City. I thank Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island, all the boroughs that I was fortunate to go and play ball with against different competition. you know, because even remembering the ball players that I lost during COVID, you know what I mean? Mo Kirby, Jonathan Duck, who played with me at Iona.
Facts.
And there was a few of them that passed, you know, at
Yeah.
the cigar bar that night.
Yeah.
Some of your teammates from Lincoln.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm humbly grateful, you know, and as long as I'm an Omega man till the day I die, Q Psi Phi, I'm going to keep giving it back until my eyes close. So I really want to thank you, Paul, for having me.
No doubt. Anytime, my brother. Let's stay in contact. And I'm
Yes.
gonna do my closing remarks. You can stick around and check it out. And then Saturday, you know, I'll call you early. Make sure I get the right direction, and I'm gonna pull up. All right.
Well, Saturday, 8 to 10, I'll be in the park doing the free skills and drills for the boys and girls. The first game, we have 6 games. First game is at 11. So just give me a call. I might be in, you know, middle of this and that, handing out uniforms or icing down waters and stuff like that. So just hit me up.
No doubt. Salute to James Kitchen, said, good brother-in-law, you deserve it all.
Yeah, that's my wife's brother. That's my brother-in-law.
That's dope. Well, listen, tell wifey I said thank you for everything, for making this happen, because without her, this doesn't happen, man. So I appreciate her.
She's listening.
For sure. Now, and listen, everybody that's on here, do me a favor. Spread the word. Let everybody know. Go to NYC Basketball Network and subscribe. It costs you nothing. My goal is to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of the summer. We're doing well. This is like our second year on YouTube. We're close to 6,000. I'm trying to get 10,000 before the end of the summer. So spread the word to everybody. Just go to YouTube and just push the button. That's how easy it is. No doubt. I'm going to say my closing remarks, Ant, and I'll see you on Saturday.
Copy.
No doubt. Listen. When life presents itself to you, it's going to present some challenges in your life. But first, you have to get over those hurdles, right? There's hurdles that you have to jump over to be successful in life. There's going to be a walk that you're going to have to take to become successful. My guy, Antoine Lewis, nothing was handed to him. He had to earn everything. He had to go out, earn his way on the basketball court. He had to prove to everyone he was that guy and that he belonged on the court. Man, but once he got there, he stayed there. And he shined with the best of them. I've seen so many times where this guy destroyed the competition and was head above everyone on the talent level. But he never acted like he was big time. I seen Ant at the games shake people's hand, give people 5, and show them love. Didn't act stuck up. That shows you the sign of a great character and a great man. He was able to get over those hurdles. Then life presents him with one of the most devastating tragedies a parent can have. And here he is today on the show, giving his testimony. And on Saturday, he'll be celebrating his son's legacy for the 3rd year in a row. If you out there, if you're able to travel, if you're able to come outside, pull up Lincoln Park, New Rochelle. He's going to be doing skills drills from 8 to 11 or 8 to 10, and then from 11 all the way to the last game, which is at 5 o'clock. They will be outside Lincoln Park celebrating his son's legacy. So that shows you what kind of man he is. And for him to come back on the show and tell a story Shows what kind of brother he is, because we all belong to the New York City Basketball Brotherhood and Sisterhood. So with saying that, I want to thank my brother for coming on the show, sharing his story. And now it's part of another family, the Basketballheads family. This is what we do. New York City at its finest. And oh yeah, I am your host, Glenn Pooh Harding. And you are watching Basketballheads Live, the podcast on NYC Basketball Network. Because we are the official home for New York City basketball. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. And on that note, peace.